Hey guys, my name's Justin and welcome to Hillsboro, where we care about the design behind design and luxury. And if you do too, make sure to subscribe. I feel like I do the same thing every time now. So for today's video, I thought it would be fun to have a let's see of a brand that I kind of talk about a lot, but I don't really own anything from them. But yeah, that brand is Bottega Veneta, and I thought it would be really interesting to take a look at what they've put out for autumn-winter 23. So Matthieu Blazy, or Blazy, I have trouble with his name because I swear I'm being gaslit or like the Mandela effect is happening because I could have sworn I heard every single person in fashion call him Matthieu Blazy, but now all I hear is Matthieu Blazy, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's what we're going with now, so whatever. Anyways, I think this is maybe just his third show, but we've seen him really have fun with some of the house codes in a similar and yet somehow different way than Daniel Lee had taken it when he was the creative director. I'm like really into this kind of like trompe l'oeil, like this very like illusion based kind of like methodology that Matthieu Blazy is doing right now. Matthieu Blazy, I don't know. I'm just gonna mostly focus on the accessories. That's kind of like what I consider my like specialty in a way. But you know, if there's some interesting clothes, we can talk about that too. But let's just get started. Okay, first look. Already it looks like a sardine bag, which I love the sardine bag. I think there's something so delicate, feminine, beautiful about it. I love the shape of it. It doesn't work for me. I actually like tried one on this past weekend. It's not my jam. But I do love that this handle is like, it appears to be like lucite, maybe glass. That would be insane. Okay, so I know I said I would focus mostly on like the accessories, but I did have to just take a couple moments to appreciate this look. Apparently like this like pajama set, again, is that trompe l'oeil kind of like leather that's been like printed over and over again to make it appear to be like a fabric. I just love the idea of like leather pajamas. Like I know like the goal is probably not to wear it to bed because that'd be ridiculous. But like just walking around and like even like chilly weather with these like pajama shorts and like this like pajama shirt, but then it's like completely leather, so it's like super comfy. I love that. And I love the styling of it, how like hand in the pocket, shirt is off to the side, being held open, so you get a little bit of skin, you get a little bit of midriff. There's something very like flirty, fun about that for like such a heavy material. Same with this coat, and then this I think is incredible. Apparently this is leather as well, so this is meant to look like an oversized like wool suit, but then the way that it's been printed, it makes it really read as wool even though it's leather. The things that they've been doing with leather is just phenomenal, and I'm a huge fan of leather. Like obviously like I can't afford a lot of this stuff. Oh, this music's weird. It's just like a little girl being like, I love you. That's cute. So we have that little crossbody bag in front, but behind it kind of looks like the Calimero turned into a hobo. More casual, loosey-goosey version of it. That's cute. I just like the thick, chunky handle. I like how thick it is. It's like thick. I love you. I love this coat. Oh my gosh. That's incredible. Okay, I don't know what it says on the bag. So there's two bags. There's one like shoulder bag with like intrecciato leather. Great. It looks like it has like a little bit of volume to it, whether it's from padding or maybe that's just the construction of the bag. But then behind it, it looks like a shopping bag, but it looks like it's made out of leather. But it's making me wonder, making me think rather, like, okay, did they apply the same kind of like printing techniques that they did for some of the trompe l'oeil, like fabric or leather to fabric kind of looks, where it's like, oh, this denim is printed multiple times to make it read as, or this leather is printed multiple times to make it read as leather, or sometimes. Okay, let's try it again. This leather, right? Maybe it was printed multiple times so that it reads as a paper bag. I know I like talk about like all these like, oh, it's just a shopping bag in white with like a little dumb handle, and then they just put the name on it, but then there's something about this where it's like, it's quite clear that it's not paper, but it really like the look of it really reads as paper, and I'm really into that. Again, we see the Calimero. I need to go to like a real city because like I have not seen a Calimero in person. Come on, baby. Give us another closer look, please. Well, this one doesn't have the same print as the other one, but again, yeah, it's definitely a leather bag that's printed to look like paper. Like just a regular brown paper bag, and I'm obsessed with it. I love those pieces of like the one that Kate Moss wore when it was like just like a regular button-up shirt and then denim, but then it was all made out of leather. But like wearing like that much leather, it's just not in like my price range right now. But like a bag, I know I could afford because then I feel like I would get more use out of the bag. Even though like again, it's the same thing. It's so dumb. It's just a shopping bag. It's a rectangle with like a thin leather handle. But there's something about this one that does something to me. I don't know. Am I pathetic? I mean, yes. But like, because of this? Okay, I am obsessed with this like acid green. I don't know the exact name of this bag. It's either the Patty or the Rumple. I'm pretty sure it's the Patty. I know those names both sound ridiculous. But I think it's the Patty because it seems like it's a more like even weave of the leather instead of the Rumple is kind of like rumply, I guess. But I can't tell super easy because I can't see if there's like hardware or not. I love this acid green on it because like when the Patty came out, when Matthieu Blazy like first like had his first collection and it was one of the bags that was like featured, I was like, wow, that bag is boring as but like seeing it in this like acid green, I'm like, okay, maybe it's changing my mind. Paired alongside this like completely neutral outfit, I think is, I love you, like chef's kiss, really great. Again, we're seeing these like paper leather bags. I think I'm being, is it still influencing if it's just the runway? Also, why are they not showing these incredible like clutches? They look like buoys. Like, you know, when you're like at the ocean and like you start drowning and like someone comes out into the water with like a thing and they like paddle out with you and like maybe they let you pass out first because like if you're drowning you're just trying to stay survive, so you might accidentally drown the lifeguard as well. So you pass out, but then they like put you on top of this thing a little bit to help like keep your head above water, and then like they paddle you back, you know, that whatever that thing's called. This is what it looks like. But I love it. I love a good like structured kind of bag like this that's like a hard shell, weird shape. It looks kind of like a triangle. I'm into it. So they have basically like a plain leather version of the Calimero where it's not like with interwoven leather, which I'm really not a fan of it at all because like for me the interest is in like that interwoven kind of look that Bottega brings. I think it's called like the JJ or something like that. This looks like a version of that as a bucket bag, but then it has a metal handle, which by the way, I did a video talking about like bags with like metal details. I'll link it up in the corner in the description, wherever. But I'm telling you guys, like, I really think there's something happening there. I'm not particularly a huge fan of this bag. It reminds me of like the fire bucket Margiela put out, but that one looks like an actual like bucket. This one obviously reads as a bucket, but then there's at least something else going on. Oh, okay, hold on. Can you please promise you'll show me this bag? I don't know if they would consider it a new bag shape, but to me the bag shape resembles that of the sardine bag, just minus like the sardine, and then it has this like huge handle that also has a zip on it, so it acts as a pocket. I think it's a really clever way of them doing that like multifunctional like utility type look that I think Prada and Louis Vuitton really took advantage of when it was like super trendy, super viral. It's done in a way that's like very elegant, and I think this could definitely act as like a beautiful shoulder bag, or as the model showing it just like as a top handle. But then maybe I'm crazy, but I could have sworn I saw like just like a cord, like a leather cord that you could use to maybe carry it as a shoulder bag or maybe even a crossbody, so then that bag which would kind of like overlap. But I love these crescent like banana shapes and the roundness kind of like overlapping, playing with each other, creating kind of a dialogue of different shapes from the lines. I think it's so funny. Also the fact that like the top one does just look like a big wrinkly banana, I think is great. I don't really like talking about prices because it differs like from the US, Europe, Asia, wherever, but like this is gonna be an expensive bag. Like it's Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Let me see. I know I talked about that JJ bag earlier. I think we're seeing another instance of that kind of bag right now. But then it looks like the handle is made from the sardine bag. And the handle is like the Calimero, where it's like just a long strap. And I'm almost wondering, I'm like, oh, does that mean that that other one was made of two sardine handles for that big bucket? I think it's really interesting. And I do actually appreciate that they used plain leather for this, because then it doesn't become too rich with detail. Now, like, the focus is on the strap, where it's just this interconnected, like, little, I'm assuming, metal fishes. But I just find this quite interesting how, like, they're using this new kind of form language from a bag that I think is I think it's only like a year old or so. And they're already, like, playing with it. I think Matthieu Blazy is, like, it's gonna sound really dumb, but, like, I think he's really cool for that. Like, he's not holding anything that he's created too precious. But then again, it's like, okay, well, do I want something that's just hard pieces of metal to sit on my shoulder? Especially, like, that's a pretty big bag. Okay, I do have to just say, like, I love these next few looks, like this one and then that one. Like, you see, like, it's playing with, like, texture. It looks kind of like fish scales and, like, a mermaidy kind of tail, or, like, a fish tail, I guess. Because, duh, mermaids have fish. But again, like, yeah, getting this kind of, like, texture I find so beautiful. Again, these stupid paper bags, I love it. Why is this guy carrying a frame? Oh, you're gonna have him carry a frame and then not, like, show off to the camera? What is with that? I don't get it. Oh my god, she just tripped. You know that, like, she's gotta be so embarrassed about it. I feel really bad for her. Honestly, if I were a creative director and a model tripped, I would be like, you're going to be leading the show next time, or closing it out, whichever one is more, like, their speed, and be like, I'm gonna give you another shot, you know, so that you can, like, redeem yourself, because, like, she's really pretty and I feel bad for her. But I want to talk about this bag. This is crazy. This is just rope. This is just rope. This is just rope. It's just rope, like, woven together. It's just rope. Different scales. I can't imagine that is comfortable to carry unless, okay, hear me out, unless this is not actually rope and it's like leather that's woven to look like rope. I don't know what's possible. I don't think that's possible. It's just rope. But if it's leather, then sign me up. Again, just really quick note about, like, I love that all of these, like, faux furs, because these are faux furs, but they look so good. Oh, again, this bag. Yeah, see, there's, like, a little cord hanging. Okay, looking at that, that's definitely, like, the sardine handle. I love this color. And I love the way it's woven. I just can't tell what bag it is. Okay, here's something that I don't get. I get you have, like, your styling of, like, whatever garments with the accessories, whatever. But then, like, isn't this a fashion show? Isn't the point for the people to see the things? Why is the bag hidden under the coat? I mean, I get it, like, after the show, the people that actually attend will be able to look at these pieces close up and, like, touch, feel, even try on some of them in some cases. But, like, what about me? Here now we're seeing that bag that has, like, the banana, like, just overlapping that bag. I think it's beautiful. It looks like there's, like, hardware to, like, keep the leather connected to itself, but not to connect between the different pieces, if that makes sense. Like, there's no ring or anything like that. It looks like the leather is just, like, interlocking with itself. And then it looks like there is, like, another piece of leather that probably acts as, like, a cord or something like that, which, a really good move. I mean, if you know me, you know I love versatility when it comes to, like, a handbag or anything like that. Oh, I'm into this. So I love the idea of this Calimero, and then they're showing another way to style it so you can carry it as a top handle bag. Just knotting that thick strap. Oh my god, that's amazing. It kind of looks like a snake, like, coiled around itself in, like, a death spiral or whatever it's called, like a death coil. Maybe it's just the lighting, but it looks like there's, like, little bits of gold leather interwoven in there. Or it's just, I don't know, I still can't tell. I don't know. You tell me. Like, I have to assume some of this is wool, right? Like, this looks too woolly to be leather. I'd love to be wrong. I was on TikTok and I saw someone, like, talking about the show, and they're like, oh, this collection, a lot of the clothes, like, you're supposed to wear the clothes, not the clothes wear you. And I'm like, I don't see that happening at all. And, like, maybe if you don't have a personality and you, like, can't carry it off with, like, confidence or something like that, but, like, all these models are, like, really selling the looks for me. So I personally don't get it. There's that electric, like, acid green on this little, like, half moon, like crescent shaped pochette type thing. I'm normally not a fan of these pochettes, but that's cute. And I love that it's layered with this paper bag. I'm telling you guys, layering bags is a thing. I have a video about it. It looks great. I would love to be rich enough to like have these, like have like 5 of these paper bags and use them for actually shopping at like the Asian grocery store or something. Just like really casual, like, oh yeah, let me just put my like frozen dumpling skins or whatever. Oh, that coat is beautiful. It looks like a shearling or something like soft and luscious. And if I'm not mistaken, it also looks like the shirt that the model is wearing is also like a little faux fur moment. That's great. Just layer fur. Oh my god, be so sweaty. Great. Who doesn't want to be sweaty? Ugh. Okay, for this, I do have to say, it looks like they're kind of coming for Simone Rocha with that egg bag. I know Simone Rocha typically does like the pearlescent kind of finish to the bags, but she does have ones that are leather, and this is like feeling kind of close. I mean, there's definitely like the not hardware to set it apart, and it doesn't have like the same like kind of like pearly type strap or whatever. Also, this top is amazing. I don't know if it's top or dress, but like, oh my god, that's beautiful. I love the shapes. I like shapes. I'm like a baby. I've seen this silver Calimero bucket on the website recently, like for purchase, but then they're showing it on the runway now. And it makes me wonder, I'm like, are they trying to like introduce pieces in like different colorways of shapes that maybe like exist or whatever already, but then show them on the runway to create more desirability or something like that? Like, is that what the goal is? I also can see the argument of like, oh yeah, keeping some of the core range, like showing those in the runway to show like, oh, it doesn't need to be like the trendy pieces that are the most desirable. I do like that, if that's what they're trying to say as well. I just don't quite get it because I haven't really seen it in a while at least. Okay, and then we're seeing another egg bag. So here we're seeing like the handle, it's a thin strap, and it's like twisted leather with, maybe it's not the knot hardware, but some sort of like brass. It's kind of making me think like Dragon Egg, like very like Game of Thrones. Like I could imagine like, I don't know if that second, whatever House of Dragon show is still on, but if like they have another premiere or they go somewhere, I could imagine someone from that show like carrying this and being like, ooh.
Stunning.
Or if you're like really rich and also a nerd, like for cosplaying as like Cersei or whatever her name is, but then carrying this as like your dragon egg and being like, oh yeah, of course, like we lived in like these fake Middle Ages or whatever, but also fashion. Whoever that person is, they get it. And that's the last look. Alright, so that was kind of a quick casual look at the Bottega Autumn Winter 23 runway. I don't want to say like it feels iterative of some of the things that Matthieu Blazy has done recently, but in a way it does, but not in a way that feels like redundant, if that makes sense. Like this kind of repetition is really like setting, at least for me, like an expectation of like, okay, this is kind of style, like this like elevated, kind of like upgraded casual, where like there's like tricks of the eye, like a lot of texture, a lot of richness through detail, and it just has me still wondering like, okay, what's he gonna do next? Because like, of course, like with the bags you can do like whatever shape, doing different like context, research on other things and creating new things, exploring the archive as well. Like that's something that's totally like doable, but then like also looking just a little bit at the clothes. Like I love like that he turned to like the animal kingdom. I mean, even with the egg bag you got a little bit of like that animal kingdom kind of feel, right? I'm just finding myself inspired and really interested in seeing like what's next, I guess. But honestly, like really, as stupid as it sounds, the most interesting to me are the paper leather bags or the leather paper bags, however you want to think about it. It's crazy. Like Loewe did like their shopping bag in raffia, and now Bottega Veneta has like a shopping bag in leather, but then it's made to look like paper. I'm like, why are these brands doing this like really basic kind of shape, but then it's such an interesting way? I love it. I'm so obsessed. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Did you like this runway? Did you see anything that you want or anything that like really speaks to you, or do you just think it's kind of like, oh, it's the same as last time, whatever? I don't know. I love hearing from you guys, so let me know. But that is all I have for you today. So if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It lets me know that you like this kind of content and that you too care about the design behind designer luxury. Until next time, feels like... That was a song in the runway. Oh, this music's weird. It's just like a little girl being like, I love you.
Please welcome
gifted, talented, one and only Matthieu Blazy.